In the midst of the turbulent 1970s, musicians from across West Germany would contribute to what would be hailed as one of the most important advancements of music in the history of mankind. The movement, known today as krautrock, would reshape the landscape of rock music forever and change the way we view music. Some bands, such as Kraftwerk, would break into the popular sphere of music, spreading the use of electronic instrumentation to other genres. Many others would contribute to the underground scene, introducing new styles to the musical zeitgeist. For every one of these bands that achieved commercial or artistic success in this niche artistic movement, there was an equal and opposite reaction by groups of idiots. This is the story of some of those idiots. This is the story of Klokwurst. New footage has recently surfaced of some of the bottom feeders of the krautrock movement, those whose work never made it into the realm of known music or was never recorded at all. This is the story of Klokwurst, a band at the precipice of its brief success.
No, I really didn't care what we sounded like. Because music was never... It wasn't for anyone. It was just... We made it for ourselves. Like it was, in part, like it was a way to like break the monotony and the boredom.
Some of the original members of Klokwurst wanted to keep expelling this experimental drivel that they already created, while some of us wanted to use some new and experimental techniques in creating music. The band was known for their eccentric stage presence, jarring lyrics, and an overall dissonant sound. A British newspaper once described the music with one word: seizure. And it could be described as epileptic, as Hans, lead singer of the band, suffered from an easily triggered and undiagnosed form of epilepsy. He faked it. He thought it would make the little movies better. I couldn't handle those terrible rehearsals that Hans would have in his basement. It's okay, you'll get it. He would fake having these seizures on the floor. Hold on, darling, hold on. Jesus. Come back. He would fake having these seizures on the floor, and I couldn't stand it. The only reason I was there with those idiots was to use their loud amplifier with the big knobs and the big noise. I would, wait for the high-pitched noises and feedback to rattle my soul and my balls. While Klokwurst accredited for no actual recorded material, save for one demo tape called the Hammer, Scheinen, Strubel, Life and Gratchengraphs demos, their legacy lives on in the tapes that were passed along from their days in the underground scene, and their wild energy has inspired many bands in the krautrock scene to adopt that same insanity. However, strange allegations arose regarding some of the material on the tapes. These claims were that the band had been abducting children for short periods of time and using them in their bizarre basement tapes. We asked what the band members had to say regarding the use of underage children in their jams.
No comment!
No comment. No comment. Klokwurst is credited with only one positive contribution to the musical world. Aside from setting a new low bar for musical development and inspiring a new psychological science in sonic-induced mania called cloaktonics. No, the band is most well known for being the spawning grounds of one of Europe's first and most prevalent Europop electronic avant-synth jazz motor synth fruitcore music, Clementine Nightmare. Never forget the first time we played the music from what would become my project, Strawberry Delusion. Hans couldn't handle it. None of the other band could. It was incredible.
When is the other supposed to get here?
Supposed to be here an hour ago.
Evening.
Why isn't it in Klaus?
You waiting for me?
We have. Where have you been?
I was busy making something for you.
My God, it's playing in my brain.
Now the music that Klaus and his friends went on to make is whatever the fuck it was, Grapefruit Miracle. It was a mockery. It ripped my soul apart like little green men, just tearing me up inside.
Yeah, just like that. That's beautiful, darling. Nothing gets it quite like a hooked toe. Klaus would go on to form a commercially successful electronic group, considered to be one of the founding mainstays of the Europop genre. Banana Gauntlet would sell 19 best-selling albums, beginning with their most well-remembered their debut album, The Nuremberg Styles. Answer the question. Do you remember the Hamburg Festival? Was there any footage?
Is the Hamburg Festival footage? I was not aware that there was any footage.
We actually met one more time, before Dirk died, that is. It was at a festival in Hamburg where we were both lined up to play, obviously me as the headliner, and the other members still as Klokwurst. We were going close to last. But we met up backstage. Hans and the gang hadn't changed a bit, and I was making all the money now. They went up and put on one of the worst live performances I've ever seen. The world cried in shock. It was as if hell itself had been released onto that stage. It was terrible. My God. The events that transpired at the Hamburg Music Festival would go down in history as one of the worst live shows ever. The concert quickly developed into a hostage situation, and emergency services had to wait until Hans eventually collapsed from playing before they could rescue the children from under the stage. Historians consider what was played to be a founding piece of noise music, while others consider that the music can lead to permanent insanity and derangement. Dirk died a year after of a rare disease caused by the consumption of too much cat hair. Hans owned and operated a successful farmer's market before giving up and moving to an island in Indonesia. His location remains completely unknown. The members who joined Tangelo Anal Beads would go on to make millions.
What is that rectangle of bullshit, Klaus?
Stickern, Stacken, Hagen, das sind Lupen, Autobahn. We're Germany and Düsseldorf, Rupen, Stupen, Ralph and Nazi, Hitler.
I loved Hans like a brother, but he could be insufferable sometimes. Yes, darling, right there.
It's beautiful.
Trying to decorate.
Mr. Hans, is that you? Hans?
I'm trying to read your fucking script.
I love the shag.
So it's come to this. Are you gonna pan?
Oh, those are my feet.
Where's my drink? Can I get a fucking refill or something?
Tell us a bit about the Hamburg Festival.
We're not at that part yet. I don't know the lines for that. I don't think Klaus has a line at that point. The narrator. Damn it. Alright, start over.
Fine.
Give me a new take.
Shake your ass for listening. Hands on the floor.